Welcome to Landria Onkka on YouTube, here to help you break through those fears and live an awesome life. Well, I slept in today. I am going to take a shower and leisurely work on the e-course, which I'm releasing here shortly. So all of you who have been so patient, thank you. I, of course, can never make it perfect because writers do that, right? But I promise you it's coming out in a week, within the week, the first week of February 2019. So before I go take my shower after moving and pushing the human body to the limits, I wanted to talk to you about something that comes up constantly, and that is conscious choice and free will. It's very difficult for us to believe that the negative things that happen in our lives could possibly be our choice, especially children and all kinds of, let's just say, very disturbing situations out there that include a lot of people that appear to be victims. You cannot have it both ways. You either believe that you have free will and you are a co-creator, or you believe that there's something else doing things, punishing you. Because that's what it would be, right? And if you believe that, then don't bother trying to manifest anything, because something else can override it. Now, in my belief system, according to quantum physics, I go with science. I go with what is proven. And I know that that is just a fraction of what we know, right? All the things that we said, where I remember back when brain cells couldn't be regenerated, and that was wrong. Absolutely, they regenerate. There's so many things that we know now about ourselves. And what we're learning more and more is expansive. It's not the reverse. We didn't say, oh, we regenerate everything, and then later on said, oh no, brain cells when they die, that's it. Have you ever noticed we're discovering more and more expansive information? Why? Because we're limitless. Because the truth is we keep trying to put labels and names on how things work, and we don't have those answers. No human ever will. All I know, absolutely beyond the shadow of a doubt, is we are limitless beings who chose certain roles here on this planet that do have, let's just say, seemingly limited physical, mental capabilities, economic capabilities. It appears this way. And people say, well, if I'm unlimited, then why can't I be rich? All right, so we have to go in today, Grandma and Spring. We have to go into this today if we're really going to address this. And that is, you didn't come here to play the role of the rich person. Even though you can be abundant and healthy and all those things at any point, but not until you experience what you chose to experience while you're here. Why would we all be here in these roles? Just to come here and go la la la? We were from that. We came from that. We came down here because the energy of the planet is a lower frequency. And we came here to raise it. We cannot do it unless we're challenged. Otherwise, we'd all sit around and our egos would feed ourselves constantly. What we want, everything we want. Because no challenges would make us go back to that place where we have to say, who am I and why am I here? Because this doesn't make sense. All right, so I'm going to hit a few areas here. If you lived in an absolute perfect experience here, I'm going to tell you right now, if you think we'd all be nice to each other, that is not true. Because that's been the problem the whole time on this planet. Is the more that we get and more that we experience that's wonderful, the less we realize that there's some challenge that needs to be overcome that goes in deep in here that allows us the opportunity to find out what our true soul essence is. All right? Compassion, giving, all the things that people do to sacrifice seemingly sacrifice, but it's really not, to help others. That none of that would be available to us if we did not have the diversity of the challenges. Some of them are on such a low frequency because certain people decided to take it on. Now, Grandma, you look at babies like they're different from us. They're physically, seem very, they're actually more enlightened than we are. The older we get, the more we lose touch with that, right? Because the world clouds that we start to absorb that energy. We are that energy. Babies come in and they are absolutely pure. They have no information about this planet until we start to feed it to them. All right, so you might say, yeah, they're innocent. They are just as awakened and as enlightened as anybody. They come here with that soul. So you're looking at the physical body and saying, there's a baby. I look at the physical body and I see enlightened beings. That's it. That's it. So I want you to know that all of this is by design, and you absolutely had 100% say in it. 100%. You're going to talk to me on the other side at some point and go, oh my God, this was so simple. But we're clouded with this veil, because if we didn't have the veil, we wouldn't take it seriously. You wouldn't sit here and go, oh, I'm stressed about this and that. Why does it happen? Okay, so spring. Let's talk about your life and everybody out there who is challenged by some crazy ass stuff that's going on. I didn't choose this. I couldn't possibly have chosen this. Let's reverse engineer your life. Let's reverse engineer it. No matter what you came from, there were always choices you could have made along the way that could have completely changed where you are now. Including how you thought about the situation, how you reacted to it, and what you decided to do with that. If you believed the garbage, or if you chose a higher path. Have you ever noticed, I have friends from the most god-awful situations who are the most together amazing people who've never seen shrinks in their life. Why? They didn't believe the crap. They rose above it. They used it to empower themselves. They're the most, I don't want to say tough, but resilient people. They've been there, done that. They don't want to hear wah wah from anybody. They're like, you know what? I remember my girlfriend had her mom's head split open by her dad, and she wasn't old enough to drive a car, but that kid drove her mother to the hospital and stood there and listened to her lie to the doctor about how it happened. That goes deep. Amazing woman. Amazing woman. She sits and talks about these things, not as part of her story, but when it comes up, she says, yeah, remember the time, blah, blah, blah. Almost finding it humorous. Can you do that? Because when you worry about, remember, the quantum physics focus is that whatever you focus on becomes real. So when you see this, and trauma and victim, by the way, most of us sitting in the house not really doing anything, go, why is that happening? Get in your car and go out and do something then. All right? Because the people that complain, I've noticed, I've asked them, not one has come back and said, yes, I started a charity, or no, I donate my time, or yes, I go counsel young women, or yes, I help families who have, bad situations, or abused babies. I have never heard one person respond. So if you do those things, I'll guarantee you're not the person on these comments complaining about it, because you're taking action and you understand it, and you understand that you are part of the solution. Now let's talk about you personally. You're exactly where you are because you made those choices. Nobody made you have babies. Nobody made you marry a guy who's abusive. Oh, he was Prince Charming and overnight he was a jackass. No, I'm sorry, it doesn't happen that way. We all know. We know, don't we? You look back and you had all kinds of information and you decided to make the choice anyways. And then you wonder why you're in certain situations. Well, until you learn your lessons, you will not be able to change it. And you can change it. And part of this is by design. Perhaps you have a contract with that person, and the two of you are supposed to triumph over this low frequency behavior. Now that other person has a choice if they go with you or not. By the way, why are you showing him my videos and other stuff? You're setting yourself up for abuse. Oh, this is BS. Why are you even showing him that you're watching these channels? Why are you doing that? You see, we like to think that there is stuff going on that we have no control over. And I'm sorry, it's not true. We are all very responsible, even in the darkest of moments. And I'll tell you, sometimes I've thought, why in the heck would I choose to go through certain situations? But I'll tell you what, I know that the only response for me is to triumph over it, to find a solution. What am I supposed to learn from this? Man, I had a rough day yesterday. What am I supposed to learn from this? Why would I choose this? And what did I choose along the way that got me into this? Because I didn't think I was worthy. Because I thought I was just supposed to go along with everything. You were behind the veil. You were making those choices not as an enlightened being. And now you're on my channel, so I know you're awakened. No matter what stage you're at, you are absolutely, if you are on this channel and you're not one of those people going, you just want to sit there and criticize everybody, and you're watching and you're getting something out of this, you don't have to agree with me, but if you're getting pieces out of this and it's helping you, giving you tools to make your own decision about how the world works, the cosmos, everything, you're starting to expand, and that is awakening. Yes, we absolutely choose every single situation. Now, some people chose to come into those situations to help others to triumph. So if a baby comes into a certain situation, it is to help others to make a decision to change this planet, because that's never going to happen again. And it is changing. It absolutely truly is. And the more we focus on that and we are part of the solution and not sitting here going, why? Those are victims. That is the poor little me. I'm going to do some videos on some new concepts that, they're not really new concepts, just as you know, I like to introduce new ways of looking at things. And we're going to go into the 3 energy fields. I'm actually adding that to my e-course also, because I know some of you are interested in that, the super consciousness, the whatever. I don't get into the details of things. I just feel things and I know them. And I share this with you. And I want you to start doing that more yourself. If you are in a situation and you're on this channel complaining about how bad you are, what are you doing about it? You can change it. And then my husband and my kids, and I'm not making fun, because I've been there. I've been the, oh, poor little me, right? We've all done it. We've all, until we woke up and went, wait a minute, there's nobody else making these decisions but me. I wouldn't be here with those people unless I chose to be with those people. What am I going to learn? How do I change it? Because as soon as you change your frequency, you won't resonate with them, and everything's going to change. Everything will change. It has to. They can't coincide together. They can't cohabit in the same frequency. You can't function there. You will have to go and do something different. And that person may make the choice to change, to keep the family together and find some solutions. You are not a victim. Unless you believe you are. And I'm hearing victim mode. Babies are victims, whatever. Who's doing it? And who's doing anything to stop it? And those souls came here to be the example. Say, okay, I'm going to do the ultimate. I'm going to come into the worst possible situation, because there's a lot of people that are going to have to step up to the plate to change it. Because until we have that challenge, we won't make decisions to become higher beings. We would just all sit around very comfortable. And until there's a challenge, that's when you know who's going to step up. Are you going to be the one that steps up? Are you going to be the one that says, damn it, I have to make a decision. I have to be somebody great because that's really what I am. I have to decide if I'm going to take responsibility for this because I put myself here, including the parents I chose. You chose those parents. How many times have you heard this story over and over again by kids who said they chose their parents? It's true. Absolutely true. So, this is one of the toughest concepts, is to accept the fact that anything that goes wrong, you absolutely participated in. And remember, when you're putting your frequency out and your beliefs, this is why I want to start working on your beliefs. When you put that belief out, you absolutely are manifesting that. So stuff's going wrong. Why? You're doing it. So if I concentrate on this, will that happen? Can I do this and do... I don't know, can you? The fact that you're asking me that tells me you're not going to manifest anything you desire. You're going to stay exactly where you are because you don't believe you have the power. When you believe it, somebody asked me about this. They said, did you envision your book and your movie first? Yep. Wrote the book for the movie. I knew it was a movie, so I wrote it like a movie. I'm also a former investment banker, and I did a lot of entertainment deals, so I protected myself. I published before I shared, anything. Guys, you can self-publish for free or for very little money. You don't need to go to these big publishers. Start taking control of your life. Nobody makes decisions for you. If you want to do something, you frickin' go do it. Everybody has an excuse. Well, how do I do this? We're still looking to the big corporate world to tell us if we're of value or not. Take charge. Who do I want to be? I can change that. I can change my story. I can look at my past and say, damn, okay, I was under the veil. I was going through all this thinking I wasn't, empowered, and then you go, I always had choice, and some of them would have been tough to make to get out of those situations, but I could have made that choice. Absolutely could have made different choices all along the way because there are endless choices and probabilities, and they exist right now for you. You don't have to attract them. When you decide you're that person, you're going to switch into that frequency, you will know beyond a shadow of doubt that you're going to see your name on that television screen on a movie. I did. I saw my name. In my contract, I said it had to be, my name had to come up there. And that's one of the first things you'll see when you watch the rooftop Christmas tree, is my name pops up. I saw it. Now, the world isn't always going to come together exactly the way you imagine, because a lot of times it's choosing higher, giving you higher choices, because once you're in that higher frequency and you allow it to bring what you need to, I would have never envisioned this house. Never in a million years. I didn't even know a house like this existed. It's amazing. I walked in and said, yes, here's my check. Why? I'm flowing with it. I'm allowing the universe to work with me because my higher self is making those decisions. And that even if I feel like an individual that's disconnected from it, I know that's not true. And I know I have access to all information. Everything I say applies to you. Absolutely everything I do, you guys can do. I chose a much nicer trip this time. And believe me, I've had some really bad crap in my past lives. I've got major specific memories, and I can draw entire cities. I can tell you exactly what I did for a living. And a lot of it was really sad. I chose two beautiful kids that got married, had 2 children, Midwestern, lovely, non-abusive home, wonderful, supportive mom and dad and brother. And all of them are dead right now. Why is that? They did their job and they exited. They're not gone. They're probably more powerful on the other side now. I know my dad has been helping me a lot. I see things differently. You can see things differently. You're seeing it as a negative. You're seeing it. Just remember, this planet is very challenging. It is horrible crap going on. It's a lower frequency planet. It's a third density. So yes, you're coming here, some nasty crap that we're uncomfortable with because that's not who we are. Otherwise we'd go, no big deal, right? But we know it's not right. And we can change it. But then we go over to not believing that. Not believing that we're doing it. Not believing that we chose to be here. So you know you're not doing the abuse and all this stuff out there, but you're part of the collective. Which means whatever energy you put into that is going to help this entire planet raise above or go to hell in a handbasket. So you get to choose on every level what you're putting in the collective with your thoughts. If you're still thinking victim, you're putting that out there. Somebody said they're an empath. Well, Spring, you're an empath? Okay, what are you doing with that? That's not an affliction. Everybody's an empath on some level. You feel energy when you come in the room, positive or negative. Some people are just more sensitive to that. Nothing evolves without challenge. Nothing evolves without challenge. And your choices along the way determine which frequency we go into, and that's it. And when you know that every single expression of the energy, the one that we are, including babies and everything else, consciously, free will, decided to participate in that exact role. As nasty it is. Why? Because the density of the planet exists, and until people come here, souls come here, in those roles, we can't be challenged to make decisions to get out of it. We can't. The more challenged you are, the more you're going to evolve if you choose. Otherwise, hey, listen, I was so comfortable in that gorgeous house that I was in. I was so comfortable until things started to fall apart. And the world, once again, said, you're supposed to be someplace else. There's another energy you're supposed to connect to. And I knew it. And the energy here is amazing. This place is amazing. Oh my gosh. And it keeps getting better. I just keep finding better experiences and whatever. Why? Because I believe that. I believe that everything I do is taking me to a higher, more evolved place. Do you believe that? Most of you are sitting there not believing that. You don't think you can get out. You don't think you can change it. Millard, she came from amazing wealth, all this stuff. And now she lives in hotel rooms. And you know what she said? She's never been more awakened. Why? Without that diversity, without that challenge, she would not have found that inner strength. She wouldn't have been forced to make a decision. You are being forced to make a decision if you are in a challenging situation. Not to suffer from it, but to say, what is this and why am I experiencing it? A, I was making choices all along the way. Reverse engineer it. Go back to the day you met that abusive guy and that decision that you made, even though your gut told you, if you're an empath, you already knew he was no good. He was up to no good and he needs to evolve. Maybe the two of you will evolve together. You have children that need you? Thank God. Be the angel that they need, and it's a tough job. I guarantee you the rewards are huge. Huge. And you'll experience them here as you give and as you sacrifice. But it's not really. Once you go in an awakened state, you don't feel like you're sacrificing. I had some stuff happen yesterday and I literally laughed out loud. I laughed out loud and said, this is funny. This is the most bizarre planet. Just strange. But I'm rolling with it. And I'm going to do my best, damn it. Are you? Or are you going to sit there and say you don't have any choices? And that's bull. I'm going to get tougher, you know. I'm going to do more butt kicking. Why? Because we don't have a lot of time. And because you're contributing to the collective consciousness. And you affect me. Because we are one energy. You're affecting me. And I came down here to be a teacher. I had an amazing life. I came to have some fun. I did, and now I had to get to work. And I'm loving this. I'm loving this. I'm loving when I hear you guys say, ping. Wow, I got it. I see it. Oh my God. I have no limits. You mean that every thought right now is generating a response. Not a delayed response. It is me reacting to my own thoughts. It is me creating. It is me taking that wave and going into a particle. It is not me telling something else to do it and then it reacts to me. It is me changing my reality. It is me doing it. Why? Because there's no separation in energy. There's only different frequencies. That's it. This is simple. Which is mind-blowing. Which means what? You better watch every thought. What am I manifesting? Boom. You go over to that positive thought and you say, I don't believe that anymore. Because that belief down here is generating that negative thought. And then you ask yourself, what am I having to believe to generate the negative thought? Because that has to change. And I'm going to work on that. Damn it. You better work on it every single day. And get that belief system out of that energy field that you have. That's generating that negative thought. You've been brainwashed. We're part of the collective. We took on a big job here. Huge one. And we have that energy. We're part of that energy. So yeah, it's got a big effect, a big impact on us. We came here as warriors, peaceful warriors, not to battle anything, but to rise above it. Rise above that third dimension. We can do it. We're going to see it. We're going to see it for what it is. Density. No right, no wrong, no judgment. It's just been density. It's just the Keystone Cops acting like idiots again. I'm not a Keystone Cop. I've never even liked that show. My brother did. He liked the Stooges. I never got it. Can you just take responsibility and know what you are? Do you know what you are? Unlimited. Open your Bible if you're a Christian. I haven't read the Bible. Like somebody said, oh, you don't need to know to read the Bible to know. No, I don't need to read the Bible. I already know that we are unbelievably powerful, beautiful light beings taking on a massive challenge here. And I know these things you shall do and more. And more. You just have to know it. Faith of a mustard seed. It's not about, I have faith this, or you either have it or you don't. You either know we have free will or you don't. Oh, we have free will over here, but not over here. Nope, you either have it or you don't. You faith or not. You question something? Oh, you didn't have faith. You better sit down and ask yourself why. Why you would choose that negative. Why would you choose to be powerless? Why would you choose to be a victim? What are you getting out of that? Doesn't sound like it feels very good. So this is a very long video because it's a huge subject, and until you realize the power you wield and that you are in a position to change absolutely everything at every split second. Because the power now means that everything's happening now, not in the future. Oh, I'm going to manifest the future. No, that is being manifested right now with that thought. Everything's happening right now. And how you think of your past. When you change that thought, it becomes a higher frequency. It changes. which means everything else changes. This is why it's so important to forgive, so important to take responsibility for what you came into and know that you were never a victim. You were part of a soul group that agreed to play certain roles, and they may not have taken the opportunity to raise their frequency. That's okay. We're not here to judge anybody. Right? Wow. We're all going through this together. We're a family here. Why? This is a freaking tough planet. We're a family. We took on a massively big role here. And I'm counting on you to pull out of it. Now. So you can go to my landriaonkka.com. I'm going to put it up here. Free inspiration. Wherever it comes out. Free inspiration. If you want to sign up once a week, you get a video from me. I've been lagging on that, by the way. And you'll get announcements about my e-courses, and we're going to work on all of this. We're going to purge it. We're going to remove the veils. We're going to start to break down all the barriers you have up. And we're going to go after that new reality, the new you, the new view. You are whole and perfect, strong and powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. Blessings, my friend. You are powerful beyond your human imagination. Namaste.